My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Now, okabibi efa a year Tëårs President Mahama okabibi fa Tëårs Tëårs dia no say I am pleased to inform this August House that for the first time since 2018, Tema Oil Refinery has commenced the processing of crude oil into petroleum products again. Kwame Nkrumah, around the 1960s, I think, ena one Italians about together ena omusi a year Tema Oil Refinery. Under John Mahama 1, from 2012 to 2016, even from Atamil's time, proper from 2012 to 2016, John Mahama edi ewada kukoto to yenyina ihu edwuma omu ye na omu nane fango na ebua Ghana. John Mahama free power 2016. January 2017 the Kufuor taking over. January 2018 ena to omuguno. Tema Oil Refinery and omuguno. Ena omu turn it to into a tank farm. Napo, Canada Japan, Bawumia, eye Kufuor, Gabby mo, omu turn it to into a tank farm. In this art breno, ya the petrol bar, omu kofa petrol, eba, na omu be store omu ankasa petrol, na omu toma Ghana buying. John Mahama be taking power in 2025, January. And many workers say, John Mahama say, and what's when it ya? Many workers say, Tëårs a Tema Oil Refinery, and the NDC are buying almost refining over 40,000 liters a day. We are talking about 40,000 barrels of fuel. And John Mahama under John Mahama, the CEO of Tëårs is one of the new discoveries under this government. Wabe show Ghana for say, you can be young, but you can prove to Ghanaians to say, when you are given the job and you know what you are doing, you can do it. The young CEO of Tëårs, the top 10 CEOs are under NDC government. You cannot pick 5 without picking the CEO of Tëårs. The young man, very quiet, very simple, paying attention to detail, has proven to Ghana for say, you don't have to be 60 years. You don't have to be 50 years. You have to be in a decent age group to be committed and patriotic to work for your nation. And Tëårs works 24/7. And that is what John Mahama are instilling in the young people of Ghana. Sami Jemfi, you go to Tëårs, you go to BOST, you go to NPA, you go to all these very important state institutions. John Jenapo, you see all these young, humble people who are working hard. Humility, no, they are listening to people. They are not disrespecting people. They are showing intelligence and commitment to the job. They are serving the people. John Jenapo, the boss, CEO, the Tëårs CEO. You can talk about Sami Jemfi. You can talk about NYE. You can talk about what these are young people. Go to Mahama Kes, Obuobe Dakumo. Go to other agencies. These are people. Go to Forestry Department, Elikem Kotoko. These institutions, Jifa Gunumuna, they are working. You can see these young people are ready and willing to work for the people. Go to the health ministry. Ejuma Akando is doing very solid. My own. Only do anya korasa Eriko Poku El Capitano when it comes to agric and Ediania Busu Ghana because of Eriko Poku the experience. They be na videos and are buying for the first time in the history of Ghana. Ekuafobi blemo buying say aban Ediana ne dosu betobi. And so yatna ama under MPP. Say planting for food and jobs. Omo de bodia betum 20 ebegun kran say otumfo mfiri Kumasi embeto bodia won kran. And the MPP and the Mahamudu Bawumia omo de kwasia policy bi ba omo say friend planting for food and jobs. Ye hu aduane baako. Under the leadership of Eriko Poku as the agric minister, Eduane Buso is managing the system. He is trying to coordinate with farmers. And we are seeing bumper harvest. It is because of the collaboration and coordination between the agric ministry and the farming communities. And the 24-hour economy market neighbor, all these farmers, they can send it to this market. That is how you build a nation. And the John Mahama or say, and the orchestra we Tëårs, Tema Oil Refinery, ebo ejuma. That was from John Dramani Mahama. John Mahama kasafa ejuma ho jobs. Let's go to John Mahama. He spoke on jobs. President 1 and then President 2. I will explain.
And according to the Ghana Statistical Services, over 1 million Ghanaians have found employment between quarter 1 and quarter 3 of 2025. Mr. Speaker, and 950,000 Ghanaians have escaped multidimensional poverty over the same period. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to report that our external position has strengthened significantly. By December 2025, our current account recorded a surplus of 9.1 billion, representing 8.1% of our GDP. This is a remarkable increase from 1.5 billion or 1.8% of GDP in 2024. These achievements have been driven by robust gold, cocoa, and non-traditional exports.
John Dramani Mahama ende oka ensem efa ejuma ho. Na eno na MPP for kokobo epie ejimi. Say John Mahama say over 1 million jobs. Ebin si ye osi obeji eye banua akonwa kese no as a government. The oka say osi over 1 million jobs have been created, direct and indirect. Now osi between first quarter of 2025 and the third quarter of 2025. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. Now, so Obika said over 1 million. And the MPP for Nam Nomo Kasa, statistical service for a release statement. No, almost say a year quarter 1 and 2, no, not a year over 300,000. So statistical services say over 330,000 jobs have been created from quarter 1 and 2. It means, say, if it is over 330,000, the possibility, say, by quarter 3, 2025, it is over 1 million. What's the big deal here? Comprehension, when you read the statistical service document itself, this is the executive summary. Statistical service, key labor market outcomes. Let me read it to you. I say, in the third quarter of 2025, John Mahama Kasano, I say quarter 1 and quarter 3. I say, in the third quarter of 2025, more than 15 million people participated in labor force. Where a statistical service document. Participated in labor force with approximately 87% employed. Now, when you're talking about 15 million people, 87% out of 15 million people, do the math. Now, when you go for it, it says this: employment increased by over 330,000. When they say employment increased by over 333,000, the first question you ask is, where was the employment number? And then where the 333,000 ever taught so? This is comprehension. Or say employment increased by over 330,000 persons between quarter 1 and quarter 3 of 2025, reflecting continued absorption of labor. Female employment consistently exceeded male employment throughout the period. Urban areas recorded higher employment levels than rural areas, while Greater Accra and Ashanti regions accounted for the largest shares of employed persons. So when you read the document from the Statistical Service said, employment increased by over 330,000 persons between quarter 1 and quarter 3 of 2025. So then you ask yourself, when they said the employment was over 330,000, the probability for we getting over 1 million people between quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, no, it is possible. So what is the noise about? Is it comprehension? Because Statistical Service themselves said employment basically over 330,000. So if 87% of 50 million people were in the job market and then 87% were able to succeed, then it means that 330,000 people were added to the previous number, which the president HM, so over 1 million people got the job. Unless say MPP for unless you don't understand grammar, unless you don't understand the comprehension, unless someone read it is basic, and this is an official document. So 1 million when you say 330,000, it still means over 1 million, because the 330,000 is not a stagnant number. The statistical service could have said, only 330,000 people were employed between quarter 1, 2, and 3. But they didn't say that. They said over 330,000 persons between quarter 1 and 2. So they are making you understand the probability. So already idea MPs no more Jimmy. You just don't take a document and say, because John Mahama said over 1 million, it means nipa 1 million in Drew. When you read the document, the statistical service said number 2 million. Now say and the Obecho say 2 million a double. He is going to tell you say job losses say and the nipa lose ejuma na nipa 1 million lose ejuma. Na last month Obekacho say nipa 1 million lose ejuma. Na say Osabekacho say nipa 1.3 lose ejuma. Obekacho say over 300,000 people were added to the unemployment rate. Meaning, Ocho said there is a significant number that is there already, and adding this number to the significant number. And in Obekacho said over 330,000. The probability that is 1 million, it is high. Into a comprehension, MP before Jimmy. Into the statistical service for Ba. Now Obekacho say, last month, over 330,000 people were added to the unemployment rate. It means there was a number that over 330,000 was added. It could be 500,000 people were added to that base number. In some cases, there was an increase of 330,000. That means there was a number that the 330,000 and over was added for you to arrive at the final figure over 1.1 million. So the president was honest with Ghanaians. The president was reading from statistical service documents. This is comprehension. Into a binary creating over 1 million jobs. And we have to all understand, the NDC government continuously, consistently, they have been honest with us. John Mahama has been honest. Already speech where we are, me who MPP Nibia, what me baby appointing number 5 said John Mahama boy. Nobody. Me who MPP Nibia, what me about out boldly to say John Mahama can we or boy. John Mahama can we or boy. All that they are saying, Abani a settings government. Abani way there. They cannot point to anything because the president has been consistent and he has been honest with Ghanaians. And that is what we have been asking for all these years. Campaign say NDC back to power. We needed a government that was going to be honest with the people. We needed a government that was going to tell the people the truth, no matter the circumstances we found ourselves in. And the government way to be taking a bold decision to take a decision on cocoa board, because we needed a government that is bold, that is ready to tell its people the truth. It is our reforms now about where they are cocoa board, and then in the next year, about changing the life of cocoa board and the farmers themselves. You always need a government that at a point will make very difficult decisions. At the end of the day, it will be painful, but at the long run, that decision will help every single person. And and I am so happy that John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, they have been consistent when it comes to they telling Ghanaians the truth about how Ghana is state Mama yankonom say the minority MPP for parliament omo di koko ekutai no de ba parliament ebekasa na ade ba ko a also ohunu say president bekasa na se minority sebio omo wo asem ka ana se sebio omo nim say the president kan no tokuro edidem ana se entro na president betwa na ayana minority omo parliament no omo tumi ekire say sebio president na asem na woka no sebio entasum. Now obianim say na minority de ba parliament no na sebio omo de koko nsem, in fact omo dress black na no mkuta koko a omo de kire say omo de omo ni koko ekuafo enenam na ende de omo do koko ekuafo. So we Ghana na wo hweme before I enter and as I call a year the president kamu in summer or kan parliament ende no me pese otibi bi ase. Politics in Ghana are very complex, and a year Nana do Danko Ekufuado ne Bawumia 8 years omubedi Ghana so no omama Ghana for abeti eye amanyo asam so asipa. Now so many Ghanaians now understand what politics CBIT, the dynamics when people are trying to lie to them, when people are trying to use them, and also when politicians, let me say it that way, when politicians are trying to use them as leverage. Now you can see that a year President Ekan a year State of the Nation on Ghana for Edin Komo ede nsem nyina etu yenim ewie ye no minority omo MPP for no koko nsema na etua omano a omo di wura parliament no omo pie free parliament no you don't really hear them speaking on the cocoa matter because sena omo asempa ka said the president bekan in the state of the nation and I say nensema oni Ghana bekan no sensema bekan say na ento asum efa cocoa ho ne Ghana sensem ho a anka ba hu senka president kasa wie no anka omo talking point pa ebeye about cocoa farmers but on say ade bi sie president kasa wie no minority ka kire say oh almost the state of the nation beba na ye mo atil be adwada ekire ho bebi omo ankasa so e de omo de beba na de na wanwa pa ne say after president kasa wie omo nyina free parliament no say wutie omo nyina e wo radio so any TV so a they are not even really talking about the cocoa na ekutakuta omo so cocoa kuafo da omakoma so no. They are now trying to make it look like say when he be president no they all can settings yeah almost shada ni assembly omugina so aka say president ne be kan no in fact we ni nyina ya tro ebe si time amena wo ka say the minority in parliament omo ko radio so omo ko TV so omo ana omo di koko akuafo politics omo di koko okutaye metima ka kire say minority MPs are normal parliament 90% of them this is the first time I almost saw cocoa ekuta cocoa physical cocoa MPP for MPs no 90% are not cocoa no ekuta omo parliament no almost first time I almost saw cocoa nie na almost sheda enso cocoa mu da omo nim senia cocoa ankasa net ye de bia no mu cocoa TV so anase omo cocoa e wo de e wo bookum enti ended the omo baye no obi edwene say or people were thinking that after the president's speech the minority leader Krano, he was basically going to base all his response on the cocoa issue they are bringing up by force. But interestingly, minority didn't have opportunity to speak to the president. You know, they could not even stay on the cocoa matter because time Mahama Kasawi no Ghana for you say cocoa won sensem no MPP for the propaganda jandam tro. And omo person the cocoa farmers no yeah. Now omo state of the nation president akinkan wie and the whole day yene MPP for atna eti omo radio so yeti omo TV so yeti omo baby bebre social media. Interestingly, they are not interested in the cocoa conversation again. Adentina MPP for are not interested in the cocoa conversation. Adentina cocoa enkomo no omo ntumi endi biem. Adesisiano I say omo de tete atesisiano omo nam ena omo hwehwe communities omo hu say oh ha de vote kakra wa ha de ekuafo kakra wa ha yenko ne yenko daada omo they did not even make that cocoa na nekuta omo their priority today until you can go back and go listen to all of their communicators and also the MPs are no more parliament omkuta cocoa and say why wasn't cocoa their main conversation? The reason was that cocoa na nekuta omo no de dada cocoa kuafo 90% of MPs are no more parliament in there cocoa na nekuta omo no mu bi da physical no mu so bi mu da na omo enim senia cocoa ankasa tie. This was the first time omo so cocoa mu na de ama eye cocoa nkomo no omo ntuma ndi biem anase sesia no Ghana fo akuafo dodo ne hu se MPP fo nka no kre ne se ende ye nyina ya be hu se eba cocoa ebo ende de abeto dwa ene se Ivory Coast fo ebeti omo cocoa ne so ende ana ochina omo de abeto dwa se omo cocoa no omo beti so na omo beti so akoduru sen ye ka kire Ghana fo se NDC aban ene John Mahama aban cocoa akuafo de ehia omo no ene ehia aban we and John Mahama kan ende o say there is no way cocoa akuafo mo Ghana ono na aban ebebu cocoa akuafo and the AC ewo eye Ivory Coast ne say omo cocoa na sebio ni adwen say omo de omo cocoa no ebo no woso cheye no and the Ivory Coast for aban say omo ti cocoa no so aba fom. Now etena cocoa na omo ti aba fom no omo ti so sen na so omo ti so a omo ne Ghana for cocoa akuafo hwana mo na sika beba omo nsem and the abeto dwane say and the uton Ghana cocoa bottle baako a eto Ivory Coast for cocoa bottom mienu. And there were Ghana now wo cocoa bottle baako a etumi to Ivory Coast for cocoa bottom mienu. Busa won say eye dan na ewiase afa na nyina ye nyina nim se cocoa price no every 12,000 a ton ababedu 3,000 still NDC are buying John Mahama buying etumi a ton cocoa sebio cocoa kuafo mo Ghana cocoa sebio omo ye tofri omo no ne boy ya ding echen Ivory Coast ne boy ya ding echen Nigeria and ne boy ya ding echen dien Cameroon. Now shade, this is what is happening now when it comes to cocoa and worldwide the AC or Ivory Coast enie. So share a Ghana ni cocoa in Kitamudia and the Jomahama can credon. Ya catch them one munim cocoa for Munti and Amia we answer and Mekako Bob Mahama no asem any state of the nation in some okayano. Bebe say yet way free ho. Now Upko Ivory Coast star and the Menoka say a kilogram of cocoa no a buying say or betono between 800 sefa to 1,000 sefa. 800 sefa to 1,000 sefa. Now, Oba Ghana, yani cocoa no, a ton, Ivory Coast for normal cano, a 1 bag kilograms. Now, so equivalent per ton na. So Ivory Coast and the Ivory Coast buying a to cocoa ton bakubiano, almost ton between $1,450 to $1,180. So the bag Ghana sikemua. Ivory Coast for ton no almost a ton $3,580 a ton. Ivory Coast for cocoa 16 bags no almost ton between $1,450 to $1,800. Oba Ghana cocoa ton baku cocoa bottom kwa edunsia a ebe ton no Ghana a buying a ton 3,880 where 2025 2026 crop season. Now so uko wenima that means say udu equivalent per kilograms per bag na and the oko Ivory Coast yato cocoa bag bia no omotono between 1,400 Ghana cedis to 1,800 Ghana cedis untumi ento a Ivory Coast cocoa bag bottle bag could be over 1,800 Ghana cedis. And so in the over Ghana, na se auto a cocoa bagger. And the cocoa bag could be a 2,587 Ghana cedis. 2,587 Ghana cedis per bag. Inti and the way Ghana cocoa near, and now we cocoa near. So we kuta 1 bag of a cocoa bottle 1 bagger. To meet to Ivory Coast for cocoa bottom mienu. Enti sawati asia. Mena waka say sa cocoa na almost send boy ding. John Mahama ebu cocoa kuya for Ghana. John Mahama sebio ondo cocoa kuya for no. And the world news and the dahona medechiro no. So be wo any other fact or say yebua onfane de nemra. Itiende utam Ivory Coast for cocoa bag bakwa. Ewa Ivory Coast omoton between 800 sefa to 1,000 sefa. 800 sefa to 1,000 sefa no. O de ba Ghana and now o de call dollars mua. Eye $1,450 to 1,800. So o de ba eye cedis mua. And the utam cocoa bottle bako ewo Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast are buying eto cocoa bottle bako biya o de ba eye Ghana sike mua 1,400. What tomana bro so cry 1,800. And the Ivory Coast are buying eto cocoa bottle bako biya what tomana born aya dimpa 1,800 Ghana cedis bottle bako. Send the over Ghana buying a John Mahama buying eto cocoa bottle bakubia 2,587 Ghana cedis per bag. It is our check here. Omo reduce cocoa na a bono just 28.6%. It is from 3,580 no. John Mahama make sure say cocoa kwiafo no ya anti cocoa ni so to the point sebio Ivory Coast for crampo cocoa bo be din achenye. It is na we cocoa kwani wo Ghana. Na se MPP ni ebegyina w'anim a na wabusa ne se MPP ni se si anomate de omo ka nyina yate sebio cocoa ye no omo a ye ne omo airpresso ewo eye Africa ha eye Ivory Coast for me a me ya Ghana ni sisi ano Ghana ni cocoa kwani no se me de me cocoa ko Ivory Coast e beto ne sen aya mumusa MPP for sa question no mumusa omo say me ya Ghana ni cocoa kwani mumusa MPP for enyumre say MPP for enda me no ka say se metam cocoa bottle ba akoko Ivory Coast for beto ne sen me pese me hu se ma aban na e wo Ghana na ebu mi ana se embu me eno na be mu hu se MPP for ye nkwasiafo ana se omo nya nkwasiafo. It's simple. To make it easy, no? To make it very easy, no? Ghana's price is significantly higher than Ivory Coast new 800 to 1,000 CFA per kilogram. Now, farmers in Ghana currently earn about 2,587 per bag, while Ivorian farmers, as we speak, under the new cut, earn close to 1,450 to 1,800 per bag. For a farmer's perspective, Ghana's price is better even after their emergency cut. Now, Ivory Coast's drastic reduction is aimed at clearing stock and restoring competitiveness, but it severely impacts farmers' income. The reason why in Ivory Coast for Crampono, Cocoa no, Ompese, Omotisu, Ebedu, 1,018 in the say. Omo Cocoa no abroso. Almost to Cocoa man abroso. The Becachem has say Brazil for Omoto a ye Cocoa free Ivory Coast for almost Omopeso Mobeto. Ninyina ne say almost omunji cocoa nindi ebi o ha eye galamsey cocoa ebi o ha yare wom ebi o so makoto ne baby a omunni baby free enti Ivory Coast for no kra no cocoa ebuso e ma aban ne kra pontumi mo musika kese aban ne say no cocoa bottle back bi obeto 1,800 Ghana. That is the highest. Otono as low as 1,400 Ghana. It is MPP for ba wa now your cocoa ni anadwi a MPP ni bia begina wo no say MPP mate o say NDC for so number may say 7,000 some may 6,000 yati ase ewiase enye nkwa de dua cocoa Ivory Coast for so dua cocoa at a point under MPP near the cocoa no koma Ivory Coast for to every say no mo bo no ye chen ye na nyina ti krom ha na Ghana kuafo etam cocoa bottle de ko Ivory Coast koton every say na Ivory Coast for bo no na eye enti mumu say MPP for na anadwo ma ba mo ho no say we de asrem o ya no sisumina so yampese ebedi matam se munim nyansa senda na twi mi cocoa kwani because demonstration won crime because ka cha ban ne se onto cocoa nim se sia no bibu afu me pese betam cocoa bottle ne ko Ivory Coast am beto ne sen into way it's just a message to cocoa kwafo mo Ghana wa wo cocoa bia no bra wo ase na sebio pe ekwan bi so na aban ento if you said the aircon no untumi entam cocoa enko Cote d'Ivoire because cocoa bo na Cote d'Ivoire no e wo fom e chen Ghana enche bia say yen close your border na ye bo say Cote d'Ivoire for area cocoa de ba Ghana beton na say Cote d'Ivoire for no etumi enyanko for Ghana de cocoa de momo na omo fam wakuafo de chikoton ma aban a that means say mo cocoa de be mo ka tie me we cocoa kuani atie me MPP for gire woni mu keka nkwase asem. And the Ivory Coast for who say Ghana for cocoa ni boy ding at Ivory Coast there. Mukai said a year or 2 or 3 ago. Now Ivory Coast for cocoa no. Now the boy ding chen Ghana there. Now mo Ghana for cocoa ekuafo yabi. Now mo chum cocoa no. Sebio ebimu efa ho e de Cote d'Ivoire koton. Sesia epono na dane. Table no a shift. Information yenya no Ivory Coast ne say. Oma buy say cocoa no beton ama omo 1,400 Ghana a bag. Almost cocoa ebu almost Ivory Coast wo. Cocoa apatana ye ma. Oma te say Ghana ye to cocoa bia 2,580 a bag. Information amede ma on say Ivory Coast for cocoa kuafo no. Omo ni MPP for ni bi kasa say omo betuma agi omo cocoa na aton wo Ghana amomo. Tie, uye cocoa kuani a tie de make a kire no. So we are Ghana cocoa quenia. Ivory Coast for no. Omo air plan say omo di omo cocoa baba Ghana abeton. Sa politicians ya omo na mo aban mu a MPP for no mo ni Ivory Coast for din sa wo so. E ka chem so mo fam cocoa nkoto wo ho no. Ivory Coast for ni mo. Omo start ni MPP for no e di nkomo. Omo be di omo cocoa no e ba Ghana. Na sa omo di omo cocoa ni ba Ghana. Cocoa board de e be de no mo hu say cocoa no efri asankregwa ana efri bono ana efri sehwi. Cocoa board de cocoa no ohwe na owe na cocoa no nseye na cocoa gina na so a obeto. Enti se mo anhwe ye a mu cocoa na mo se monton no. Eye Ivory Coast for ba beton omu cocoa no ama Ghana aban na mutifie eye MPP ende news aba no exclusive. Ivory Coast to cut farmer cocoa price with earlier start of mid-crop, sources say. It is how your cocoa kuani na Ghana. Na oda huti cocoa so ka say MPP for say Ivory Coast for neba. Cote d'Ivoire for the cocoa neba. So obedi MPP for echi mama kan kwase sem we akyew the aban we ayamao eye aban we efutu om the amao aban we etumi atena ho adwene cocoa kuani ho and yet to cocoa bag 2,580 and the Cote d'Ivoire cocoa bag 1,400 almost how cocoa chain almost sa benye almost sa ni munkofo Ghana almost sa ebe twi cocoa na sa dia ba Ghana aban so already so obeto cocoa no 2,005 na we processing of Ghana dudo bi oho bi obeto enti ya Ghana cocoa ni kuani na wo di MPP echi say ya ntiase a moti ha na Ivory Coast for beton mu cocoa ni nyina ma Ghana aban moti krom ha and Ivory Coast abeton omu cocoa nyina di ama Ghana aban na mu cocoa na sei obanyansafo yebuni be sa nkwasiafo we inform wo they don't care MPP for inform ho the more your politics. So this is coming from the president, Mr. President myself. Monye in term na mo fam cocoa ni koma cocoa board no mo nto no mo ma mo boto bia 2,500 Ghana because Cote d'Ivoire for deba mo amunim sanya mutumi wuro mu koton wo ho no omo so betumi wuro ma beton wo ha aban ne de border na ogina so na enya ni nyina na betuma stop it into we de efuto ne de mamo after today no emu atwa yanka koko asemu biam wa koko aka wa patam se wentuma anton a sebio also koton ma MPP if you say aban aka akyerew Ivory Coast for cocoa bottle 1,004 Ghana cocoa bottle 2,580 mienu we choose baako Ivory Coast for neba Cote d'Ivoire for neba amu de cocoa neba because cocoa ne bu omo so aban se cocoa no ebu omo so obi ani wa auto mu cocoa it is why you ready so why you ready say cocoa no be kipu a ene kipi because ye de yan se cocoa aba ye beto unya ready so beton a tina ho so be so de ko Ivory Coast so a pro ne da ho fakọ bottle ba ku bi 1,004 me da se nyame nshraw we de obanyansafo yebuni be now mama yenwura eye and the state of the nation a president ebedi ho nkomo no team stay with me we are Ghana ni abebusa ho say me team ni say men kan chem kokuakuafo say aban nokwafo eye chen aban otrofo. An honest government is better than a lying government. The team nisa men kan chem say aban nokwafo eye chen aban otrofo. Aban we edi nokware. Aban we aye truthful. MPP betena so no otrofo Bawumia na edi omanim and omu da ho di tro. An honest government is always better. It is always better than a lying government. MPP aban na money omutena 8 years no. Nipa na odi omanim no, omu ya atrofo Bawumia oya trofo. Ne bema tintin kura onim. Ne bema esen nim ne tintin Bawumia ntumi kan kyerɛw. Inti cocoa kuya for munhwe mu ye pa. Mudi agro. Mu cocoa ni nyina be pro. Aban we ka kire mo. Monfa cocoa ni mbra beji 2,500 a bag. Monfa cocoa ni mbra beji 2,500 a bag. Motina ho na mudi MPP echi. Côte d'Ivoire for ne ba beton mu cocoa da ma aban. Yeti ha. Mujuma mo di nyina be hye. Mo brain nyina be ye kwa. MPP de mo ye politics. And then unya fertilizer free. Unya insecticide free. Unya spraying machine free. Aban na eboa through the agric ministry. When nyina there aban de aboa. Se cocoa no one fan koton ma aban 2005. Ivory Coast for baby 2007. Ivory Coast for the say 1008 crore meji. Ivory Coast for 1006 crore meji. Your amount 2,508 to say also pay. Ivory Coast for your mom 1,004. Odu Kroma near man 1,550 or beji. Cocoa de Buduso or would you offer in the moment na Ghana, Eddie MPP Kwasiafo Wechia. A Juma Muye Nina Afia Chomina, a beya qua, Ukoko de Pro, Coco Mwamunim, and check na pro. A dear Makoko board, a bokapa, preparing cocoa before it is exported, dinche bibia. Unum eka cocoa board bo afibia when it comes to preparing cocoa before cocoa is exported. Some chow processor, cocoa board. I was say obufemu preserve cocoa no and send cocoa no edu the buyer wa. You'll be shocked. Sa cocoa na cocoa board eto cocoa kuafo no ho Ghana no. About 20% of that cocoa no say and sana kudu. Do you know why? Because oto cocoa if you nsemu wia. Or then I was say or spray cocoa no or making sure say emuankum or so make cocoa na dry or so or this share bottle papem or say or preserve cocoa to the point bro ni nsa soma or because cocoa we say ye it eba cocoa board a car cocoa board cra ebo ewe kuafo ho no se say can cocoa board ka say omo de mam we kuafo anke or set cocoa ya to be 100 Ghana but realistically Ghana buying efa saka no because only cocoa kuafo na edi djuma it is a one to man ton cocoa na cocoa ni siwa Ivory Coast for bar na cocoa na wo na cocoa original na so a Ivory Coast for your mom 1,007 or mobeje and minimum ka say mo nyonko cocoa kuafo na omo border no so no almost starting Ivory Coast for ni din komo Ivory Coast for na catch am yan fambre mo ana because the mama mo turn 2005 na mo de mo mbre 2000 omo je di aba hwe ojin sa agro ni edi wo de tena ho de odbeto duane kro onya bindi de MPP nkwasiafo wechi omo elibo border no so ne ade no cocoa kuafo ro ho no Ivory Coast for the frefre omo ça va la cocoa da 2007 c'est crédit 70 or 1007 keke or tiswa 1007 ko border no so ko hwe ça va comme ça à la Côte d'Ivoire à coco la famille ou la coque omo ema ekuafo se dabi ya ban de also 2005 you better on sa Ivory Coast for cocoa kuafo no teso ma Ghana cocoa am so mo mpe o de oti ha MPP nkwasiafo we dada Ivory Coast for ni bo beti we ni so all right mo me ndjom Mr. I will try compress and talk about this later in the show on a year. Inflation. John Dramani Mahama on inflation.
The heaviest burden we inherited was the very high inflation rate, which was silently eroding every household's purchasing power. It peaked at 54.1% at the end of 2022, and it declined to 23.5% by the end of 2024. Mr. Speaker, we treated this with urgency. Through fiscal consolidation, currency stabilization, and disciplined monetary policy, inflation fell from 23.5% at the end of 2024 to 3.8%. Mr. Speaker, inflation fell from 23.5% at the end of 2024 to 3.8% over 13 consecutive months by January 2026. Mr. Speaker, and very interesting, food inflation, which had been the main driver of the upward pressure on inflation, fell by 26.6 percentage points. Inflation for locally produced goods fell by 22.6 percentage points. Mr. Speaker, these are not just statistics. These translate into the reality of a parent being able to put food on the table for their children. It translates into the reality of businesses thriving and creating opportunities for Ghana's young people. Mr. Speaker, petrol prices dropped from 15.2% Ghana cedis to 10.7 cedis per liter. And only recently, it dipped below the 10 cedi mark to 9.97. Diesel fell from 15.4 to 11.3. And this brought relief to our nation's 3.7 million car owners and the tens of millions of Ghanaians who depend on transport daily.
President Ikasande no say, Mr. Speaker, and some make nyina adanse wo ho. Ansa na NDC ye ba abemu no. Na inflation, general inflation, nyoma nyina boarding 2022 na yebewura 2023 na enam 54.1%. 54.1. Na nyoma boa ye diama ayese sebio baranzu. Unim baranzu. Ade na ntafo di twa wechi ujimi ojongwa. Na inflation mo ye dia from 54% 2022. Ose Mr. President. Enkofo no yebewie eye 2024 edane abanhye yensem no. Na omo create some magic bi eda Ghana for say na eda 23.5. Because now omo gin say Ghana for Jimmy na yebeko elections no omo be hwie sikafo bi gumu na omo di ni shafo enti every 54 2024 na obeja ban no na ebeda 23.5 eno krampo no na eya ahomte Jamahama ka so Mr. Speaker asema mi ken so obi wo counter argument a ombeka se meboa o se me beji eye Ghana as president and me party betena so no inflation no yatam free eye 23.5% no me no ka Sunday yatam free 23 atia bafuma bedu 3.8%. Mr. Speaker umpe we na opeka ya motium. This is governance from 54% to 23%, which was not something you could rely on because it could have shot up. But what this government did, tam free 23 na beto ye na enkofo if fake money egu system no. They knew it was still at 54, but John Mahama did not complain. And Menokasa 2026 January and February Menokasa inflation nyoma boarding at Tiaba 3.8%. Conservatively, 13 months inflation at Tiaba from sa into Mankosro. For 13 months, Mr. President said inflation at Tiaba Fuma and America say Ghana's inflation is close to the inflation of the United States of America, 3.8. I see NCWA time I to me more around 2024 no. Now petrol near to 15.2 Ghana cedis a letter. Now inflation no among you memoir a ding. In some President Kayina, me who say MPP Dibia Kotina radio to say obwa. That shows abaya odinukre. Or see, meji eye akonyano NDC Ebert National na petrol na yato a letter 15.2 Ghana pesos. Uto be a bottle no sa 4 and your friend 1 liter. Na yato eye yato the 15.2 Ghana pesos. Now and petrol ebaya babedru even 9.5 pesos. Ebedru 9 cedis 50 pesos. Menoka say petrol ending around just 10 cedis a liter. 10.7 cedis a liter. And you see the difference. Also, Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, the American Wakata so Obia ni wobet magina baby akasa the American eniho anything ebesi enne ebesi anwumbre ye hu se MPP ni bia kotena TV so say President Mahama Boa time oba power no na petrol ye nton eye a liter for 15 Ghana cedis. Omu nyina nim say President in some no woka no eye no kre. President Ikaso say Mr. Speaker Mr. Speaker, I say diesel. Time about power 2024 no. Not diesel, a liter of diesel. Now you 15 Ghana 14 pesos. Mr. Speaker, and President Mahama any Ghana forecast and I'll say and the diesel and in where around 11 Ghana cedis a liter, and it has shown say over 11 million Ghana for omo driving omo nyina esewu sika omo botom or say a bar or share Ghana for no eno na oye no and sebio Ghana no esi kwan so a saa nyoma ye hu ni nyina no ye boy ho modern a ebeba for more. Now President Mahama ekasa efa eye big push ekoso ojujemu onkasa na minjujemu.
Mr. Speaker, the famous big push infrastructure program. This is my vision for a national infrastructure drive to restore critical national infrastructure. Naturally, the bulk of the money is dedicated to the road sector. We want to open economic corridors, create jobs, and reduce the cost of doing business. Mr. Speaker, as I speak to you, work has started on 50 major road projects that cover a distance of 1,144 kilometers. The total estimated cost of these projects is 50 billion Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, government is also completing 23 projects that were awarded by the previous administration but were not paid for. These projects amount to another 573 kilometers and are estimated to cost 15 billion cedis. So if you add that to the 1,500, it means about 2,000 kilometers of roads are currently undergoing rehabilitation as I speak. This is the biggest major investment in our road sector in the history of Ghana. Across all 16 regions, 73 projects are advancing with significant visible progress expected by the end of the year. Some of these include Tepamaban-Goso, the Kumasi Bypass Road, Swami Interchange and Local Roads, Sunyani Outer Ring Road, Sampa Jinijini Road, Techima Nkonsia Winchi Road, dualization of Winneba Cape Coast Road, Kwau Tafo Adosu Road, Dodowa Afienya Dawenya, Bintiri Nakwanduri, Tamale Outer Ring Road, Wenchi Sola, Sola Wa, Bole Chache, Bole Town Roads, Navrongo Tumu, Tumu Han Laura, Atimpoku Ho, Ho Denu, dualization of Accra Aflao, dualization of Cape Coast Akrade, Dadieso Akontombra, to name just a few. Mr. Speaker, other feeder roads are Akosombo Jakiti Kudupe, Kudikope, Yeniam Junction Sedom, Apegusum Pakadan, Todome to Palime Gemini Road. Indeed, there are many others too numerous to mention. And as I said,
PENDREAM TV now so far so good. Say open online portal Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.